Okay, guys, week 4 of distance learning. So we're learning something a little bit new this week. In week 4, let's try and get that there. Week 4 of distance learning, and it's called the substitution method. So we've looked over methods in which we can graph two linear equations or two lines and find the solution or the point of intersection. However, we can actually do that with just having 2y equals mx plus b or two linear relations listed side by side. We can actually find where they intersect or the coordinates of it. So this is called the substitution method. So the substitution for the first linear relation for y in the second. What that means is that we can sub in this whole equation right here, 2x minus 8, into the y position in the second. Because if one side's equal to the other, then we'll be able to have a point of intersection. Then our job is to solve for x, and then substitute the answer for x into the first linear equation and solve for y. Finally, you'll come up with a solution in the form of x, comma, y, and those will be our coordinates. Okay. So what it says is substitute. Just going to highlight here. So it's going to substitute this right here into the y position. So what that's going to look like, if we think about it, is the y equals negative 3x plus 2. Okay, and we know that we're going to sub in 2x minus 8 into that y spot. So it's going to be 2x minus 8 equals negative 3x plus 2. In last week's lessons, we were going through how to solve for x, or how to solve from a variable, by making sure that we separate them onto either side. So if we want to do that with this, if we move the x's, over to one side and the numbers to the other, so 2x, if I move the 3x, negative 3x over, it becomes positive 3x. And then if I want to move the numbers to the other side, I'd have negative 8. I'd move to the other side, and it would become positive. And we have the plus 2. So on this side, we'd have 2x plus 3x equals 5x equals 10. I want to get x by itself. I got to divide both sides by 5. And then x would simply equal 2. So we know that in this scenario over here, or solution over here, it's going to be in terms of x and y. Sorry. And we know that the x is already 2. However, we don't know the y. Now we're going to solve for the y. So our job now is to sub in x into first equation. Okay, so what that looks like is I'm going to write out the first equation, which is y equals 2x minus 8. And I'm going to sub in the x, which is 2. So 2 bracket 2 minus 8. Y is then equal to 2 times 2, which is 4, minus 8. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. Okay. And then all we're going to do is put this into the final equation here. So we now know what our y is equal to, and our x is equal to 2, our y being negative 4. So the point of intersection, or the solution, is 2, negative 4 of these two equations, y equals 2x minus 8 and y equals negative 3x plus 2. Okay. So if we carry on to the bottom one and continue the same steps, our job is going to be to, once again, sub this in to the y spot. So we're going to continue over here in this area. Substitute and solve the variable. So we know that y equals x minus 3 being our second equation. And we're going to sub in negative 2x plus 9 equals x minus 3. So all we did is sub in this part here into the y spot in the second one. So if we continue doing what we did last time, keeping the x's on one side, so let's move the x's. Last time we brought them to the left. This time, let's just for fun bring them to the right. So 9 still on this side. Negative 3, when it comes over, is going to be positive 3. And then on the other side, negative 2x, if it comes over to the other side, becomes positive 2x, and x staying x. So 9 plus 3 being 12, and 2x plus x being 3x. And if we divide both sides by 3, since we want to get the x by itself, we'd have an answer of x equals 4. So now we know to sub x equals 4 into first equation. So y equals negative 2x plus 9. If we sub the x in now, we've got negative 2 and 4. We're subbing in for x plus 9. Y then equaling negative 2 times 4, which is negative 8 plus 9. Y then equaling positive 1. And if we put it all together here, we've got our x equaling 4 and y equaling 1. So x equals, sorry about that, oh, technical difficulties. So x equals 4, y equals 1. We want the answer in x, comma, y. Therefore, it would be 4, comma, 1. And the solution being, the solution is 4, comma. Okay, so that's 4.5. And there are a couple of practice questions below.